KSAT 12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
We have 2 victims that remain in critical condition, and then we have 12 victims that right now are in stable condition. Almost all of those victims are innocent bystanders.
Out of nowhere, there was no escalation, there was no altercations anywhere. You hear the gunshots, about 4 rapid gunshots, pop, 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 pop. Just saw bodies everywhere, people screaming.
1, 2, 3, 4 shots, 1 female unconscious.
It was just absolute anarchy, seemingly, and it blew our minds, and I think we're still kind of in a state of shock.
We got 3 victims down.
One of the reasons why I think so many lives were saved is pretty heroic behavior on the part of our first responders, especially our police force.
This does appear to be an isolated incident between 2 parties. We're going to solve this case.
Tonight, one of the nation's latest mass shootings hitting close to home. 14 hurt, 2 critical in our state's capital.
Gunfire sparking a panic on Austin's 6th Street Bar District in the early morning hours. Austin police saying today they believe it all began with an argument between 2 parties.
Tonight, one person is in custody and police say they are still searching for another. We know the suspects are both men, but neither person's identity nor the charges they might be facing has been released.
The night team's Garrett Berger has been at the scene in Austin all day and joins us live again now. Garrett, what's the atmosphere like out there?
Well, it's been less than 24 hours since the shots rang out here on 6th Street, but right now you can hear the roar of motorcycles, crowds. Definitely this area known for its bars and its crowds having that party atmosphere that it always has.
Among the biggest gatherings in the state, the Republic of Texas, or ROT, motorcycle rally is celebrating its 25th anniversary in Austin, and bikes are dominating the scene out here. However, police said this afternoon that they do not think the shooting is related in any way to the rally. We talked to some bikers in from San Antonio who aren't concerned about last night's violence.
I feel okay. I'm not worried about it, you know. Some things happen. Why it happened, I don't know, but I'm okay. As long as I have my phone, so I'm fine.
It was sad, but it looks like everything's calmed down, and it seems like everybody is having a nice time, behaving themselves as adults.
Not everyone is at ease, though. An Austin woman we spoke with was only on 6th Street because family was in town. She wouldn't normally come out here, she says, and that's especially true today.
Still a little uneasy, but like I said, since it's still daylight out, I feel comfortable, but I think I'll probably be leaving earlier on in the night than I typically would, just because of the situation. It's getting more and more dangerous out here.
Definitely a strong police presence out here tonight. Austin police had said that they would have DPS troopers out here with them. We've seen at least one so far, making sure that the crowd stays safe. Hopefully it will. Live in Austin, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. And our coverage of the mass shooting in Austin does not end here. We'll hear from Garrett again later on in this newscast. And as always, you can continue to follow the latest developments as they happen at KSAT.com.
That shooting in Austin following another developing story out of Dallas yesterday. 5 people shot there, including a 4-year-old girl and a suspect still on the run. That shooting happening at an apartment complex in southeast Dallas. Police believe a gunman shot into a crowd. Authorities believe an argument of some kind may have led up to that shooting. The 5 victims, 4 women and that child, were all taken to nearby hospitals. Police say the 4-year-old was shot in the foot. The conditions of the 4 victims is unknown at this time. Dallas police released details of the suspect's vehicle this morning on Twitter. They say they are looking for a black Kia Optima with paper dealer tags. They add the vehicle was being driven by a woman. It's unclear if she is the one who pulled the trigger.
New on the Nightbeat, a T-bone crash leading to a mess tonight on I-35. This is on the city's east side where the interstate intersects with Pine. Police say one driver was headed north on Pine and another driver was on the access road of 35. Investigators say one of the drivers ran a stop sign and T-boned the other vehicle. The driver on Pine was hit so hard they rolled down an embankment and was hit again by a semi-truck on 35. The investigation is still underway, and police on scene say the extent of the injuries still unclear tonight. Multiple shootings making up some of today's local headlines as well. The first, a 22-year-old man found shot behind a dumpster on the southeast side overnight. Police say it was shortly after 10 last night when a shooting was reported at the reserves at Pecan Valley Apartments off East South Cross Boulevard. 2 witnesses called to say a man had been shot behind a dumpster, and sure enough, police found that man with at least 1 gunshot wound to the chest. First responders did try CPR, but the man later died at the hospital. Police are still searching for that suspect.
Meanwhile, another shooting overnight happening outside the East Bar on North New Braunfels and Hayes Street. That happening around 2 a.m. Police say 2 people were hurt, one of them critically. After reviewing security cameras, police believe a fight outside of that bar escalated and then ended with that shooting. They tell us they are looking for a woman in connection with this case. At least 14 shell casings were found at the scene. New tonight, a migrant teen diagnosed with severe depression and ADHD tased by a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy. Sheriff Javier Salazar now launching an internal investigation about a year after that incident originally happened at a local migrant children's shelter. It's just coming to light as part of a probe by a nonprofit investigative organization. The night team's Patty Santos has obtained the 13-minute video from that group.
Stand up! Stand up!
About 35 seconds. That's how long a Bexar County Sheriff deputy tased an unarmed migrant teen at a local children's shelter. The body camera, dated May 12, 2020, is for a call to a Southwest Key Program facility in San Antonio.
He has anger issues? Well, obviously.
The footage obtained by Reveal, a nonprofit news organization, as part of a larger investigation into the treatment of migrant children at shelters. In the 13-minute video the organization obtained and shared with KSAT, staff is heard talking in Spanish to the 16-year-old who appears in distress and is holed up in the bathroom, refusing to come out. Staff tell the Bexar County Sheriff deputy the teen doesn't speak English.
Keep your pets?
Yes.
You're gonna press charges?
Yes. Okay. I'm just waiting for my partner to get here.
I already have somebody waiting at the gate.
Okay, as soon as they get here, we'll take care of this.
Thank you, sir.
Less than 7 minutes after arriving.
Ready? I'm gonna tase his head.
The deputy gives the teen commands in English, but never tells him he's under arrest before deploying the taser. The teen never seemed to provoke deputies.
El Stupido.
The deputy is heard saying he's going to a juvenile facility, but is never heard reading him his Miranda rights. Reveal, which was able to reach the teen's family in Honduras, says he's now at a facility in Virginia. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
The sheriff's office says the video involved a teen and never should have been released. In fact, they asked Reveal, that organization, to destroy it, even though they obtained it through public records requests. The internal investigation was announced after Reveal tried to obtain a comment from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The deputy involved now on administrative leave. You can read more about this story right now on KSAT.com.
A new local police canine training facility is now open and being put to use. This morning's ribbon cutting ceremony at the Boerne Police Department served as an official dedication for 2 Eagle Scout projects. Both projects just in the initial phase of expansion. The new facility includes a wash area, kennels, and a training area, which took nearly a year to complete. Soon an obstacle course will open, and BPD says training areas will be available to neighboring and regional law enforcement agencies.
Hope you had a great start to your weekend as we take a look out there with live cam. Just a few clouds lingering this evening for the most part. It's just warm and still very muggy, and it's that high humidity that doesn't allow our temperatures to drop as quickly, even in the evening with clear skies and light winds. So a lot of us are still in the 80s at this hour, even a few spots off to the west in the 90s. Well, that came and went pretty quickly. Okay. We'll take another look at the almanac coming up in just a minute. We're also going to take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the weekend. That includes some spotty rain chances that will linger into the middle part of next week. And we're checking on the tropics, watching the Gulf of Mexico very closely. All that and more coming up in just a bit. Guys.
Still to come on the Nightbeat, continuing coverage of that mass shooting in Austin. We are bringing you more reaction from those on 6th Street today. Plus, that mass shooting happening on the anniversary of one of the worst in modern American history. 49 people killed at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando 5 years ago today. How their lives are being honored.
And more U.S. cities and states are taking major steps to reopen as COVID cases numbers continue to decline. This, as an effort to vaccinate Americans, takes a major hit with millions of vaccines thrown away. The details next on the Nightbeat. COVID cases are declining across the country as the number of vaccinations goes up.
Yeah, but the country is still short of reaching President Biden's goal of having 70% of Americans with at least one shot by the 4th of July.
Here's ABC's Trevor Alt with the details.
With COVID cases on the decline across much of the country, Americans are on the move. The TSA says it screened more than 2 million travelers on Friday, the highest level since the start of the pandemic.
We are encouraging folks to plan ahead, give themselves that extra time.
In Chicago, all capacity limits have now been lifted for bars, gyms, and large venues.
Chicago is the largest big city in the country that's fully reopened.
Wrigley Field hosting Opening Day 2.0 on Friday.
This is what it feels like to be 100%.
But still, an average of 300 deaths a day are reported from COVID-19 in the U.S. The country is closing in on 600,000 deaths, and the percentage of cases of the Delta variant in the United States, a variant first discovered in India, has doubled since last week, up to an estimated 6% of cases. It's believed to be more contagious, though vaccines work against it.
We are starting to see the number of cases drop through the work of the vaccines, so we're really hopeful that as more people get vaccinated, that number will continue to grow less and less.
The country is 6% away from President Biden's July 4th goal of 70% of adults with at least one shot.
Communities that are not well vaccinated, that haven't hit vaccination targets that we're looking for, are those that are going to be most at risk of the future.
Meanwhile, the New York Times reports 60 million doses worth of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, which were manufactured at a third-party Baltimore facility, had to be discarded. But the FDA did clear 10 million doses, many of which may be shipped overseas as part of President Biden's commitment to donate 500 million doses to other nations. Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
Not long ago, we were wondering when Mother Nature would turn off the water. That has happened, and then came the heat.
We knew it was coming. Yeah. It still hits so hard with this humidity, too.
I know, the humidity has been really high. Sometimes we get into patterns where we see the higher humidity in the mornings, and then we're able to see the dew points drop in the afternoon. So it's hot, but it's not so oppressively humid. That really hasn't happened this week, and so that's kept our heat indices into the afternoon hours really elevated, pretty much near 100 degrees, but some heat indices over the past several days have been closer to 105, 110, and it'll be staying hot out there for the rest of the weekend and into next week. 75 our morning low, up to 92 this afternoon. That's about where we should be this time of year, and highs were generally in the 90s today. A high of 94 in New Braunfels, but off to the west, Del Rio, you guys made it up to 103 this afternoon. Currently at the airport, 85 with a high dew point. It's in the 70s there, so it is feeling muggy. We've got a nice little breeze trying to hang on, but even at this hour, because this dew point is so high, it still feels like 91, even though the thermometer reads 85. A few low clouds starting to build back in. We'll have more of those work in through the overnight hours. 82 now in Hondo, still 92 in Del Rio, 87 down in Laredo. Dew points are still high, so everyone pulling at least a little bit of a heat index at this hour. Dew points generally in the 70s, closer to 80 down near Beeville. This is about as high as these numbers go. And again, with these higher dew point numbers, that doesn't allow our air to cool down as efficiently at night. And so that's why we've got these warm, muggy mornings hanging around. Winds are about 5 to 15 miles per hour. I actually expect them to drop off closer to 2 to 5 miles per hour overnight. So these really light winds, a combination of the higher humidity, lows only in the low to mid 70s. That'll set us up for a muggy start to the day tomorrow. And I can't rule out a little bit of patchy fog here or there as some low clouds start to build in. But like what we saw today, any low clouds in the morning will quickly burn off. We'll see a good amount of sun again tomorrow. Highs will be back in the low to mid 90s, close to 95 here in San Antonio. East-southeast winds just 5 to 10, and a low chance of a stray shower or storm as we get into the heat of the day on Sunday, and this will kick off a little string of some low-end rain chances for us heading into the middle part of next week. So let's take you to 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You have to look really closely here in Lavaca County to see where this forecast model indicates where a little shower could try to break the cap or the lid on the atmosphere and maybe produce a couple of non-severe storms tomorrow afternoon. If we do have any little thunderheads that get going during the heat of the day tomorrow, they're not expected to become severe. Some heavy rain and some flashes of lightning will be possible. Pretty quiet heading into Monday, but then again, Monday afternoon, afternoon. With some little upper level energy moving in overhead, we'll have another chance for some isolated showers and non-severe storms during the afternoon hours as we get into Monday and then through the middle part of next week. So this is not an unusual pattern for us here as we get into the heat of the day after lunchtime through about early evening. That's when those storms can sometimes break the cap or lid on the atmosphere and develop. Coverage of any rain over the next several days is going to be on the lower side, and most of us will just be left with the heat for the rest of the weekend and into the middle of next week. I mentioned we're keeping an eye on the Gulf of Mexico. There's actually an area of moisture here in the Bay of Campeche, just off to the west of the Yucatan Peninsula. The Hurricane Center has given this area of moisture a 40% chance of becoming at least a tropical depression within the next 5 days. This is going to move very slowly through Wednesday, Thursday of next week, just into the central Gulf of Mexico. So we've got several more days to watch this. And at this time, any effects to our long-term forecast? I'm talking next weekend, 7 days from now. Don't see any effects on our forecast here locally, but of course, we'll keep you updated. And this is just a reminder, it is that time of year where we see some activity in the tropics. Another look at your Sunday forecast. A little bit of patchy fog, not out of the question early. And then we'll break through to mostly sunny skies tomorrow afternoon, a high around 95. And again, I can't rule out a stray shower or non-severe storm as we get into tomorrow and for the next few days. Guys, humid.
Still no triple digits.
No.
We'll break that soon enough. All right, Larry, is Becky Hammon looking for a promotion from assistant coach to head coach?
Oh, absolutely. She is ready to be an NBA head coach, and she says it's just not happening quick enough for her. According to reports, she is set to interview for 2 job openings. And in the NFL, Cowboys rookie linebacker Micah Parsons is a fan of defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Coming up. San Antonio Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon will interview for both the Portland Trail Blazers and the Orlando Magic head coaching jobs, per Shams of The Athletic. Others up for the Blazers gig include Spurs Vice President of Basketball Operations Brent Barry, South Carolina women's head coach Dawn Staley, Clippers assistant coach Chauncey Billups, and Nets assistant coach Mike D'Antoni. Blazers star guard Damian Lillard recently said that he liked Billups and Lakers assistant Jason Kidd as potential replacements for Terry Stotts. Kidd withdrew his name from consideration last week. A Dame's stamp of approval of Billups will likely carry a lot of weight. Becky, an assistant with the Spurs since 2014, became the first woman to serve as a head coach during an NBA regular season game in December, filling in for Pop after he was ejected. She's looking to become the first female head coach in NBA history.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys rookie linebacker and first-round draft pick Micah Parsons is so talented. First-year Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn experimented with him at defensive end during OTAs to use the rook's diverse skill set in his designated pass rusher position, in addition to his middle linebacker duties. Parsons can play all 3 linebacker spots and has really turned heads during off-season workouts. And the rook likes the way Quinn pushes him to be his best.
His really high standards, not allowing anything short of the best. If he feels like my practice wasn't great, he's not afraid to pull me to the side and be like, I know I can pull more out of you, So really high standards. You kind of want to coach like that because, it's only going to pull the best out of you. Always trying to bring your best every day. Coach that you want to prove yourself to. Never allows anybody, no matter if you're an 8-year vet, rookie, we all got the same standard here. So, that just creates a very quality defense.
Last season under DC Mike Nolan, the Cowboys did not have a quality defense, allowing the most points in a season in franchise history and the second most yards allowed. Houston Texans running back Phillip Lindsay stands 5'8", but isn't afraid to run right through the trenches. He says it's a mentality which he learned while growing up, and to be a running back, he says you've got to be able to run inside and inside out. He learned to play running back from his father, Troy, a high school and college running back himself, who also taught his kids Taekwondo.
My father actually taught us, and he got into it back in the day, and he ran a class. He had a dojo and ran a class. And my sisters were the first ones, and then my brothers and I were up coming in. We usually did it. We didn't get to do the tournaments and stuff like my sisters and them did because we were in football at that time. But we did a lot of it just for mainly the places we lived was like more of a self-defense to try to help each other out, but also learn about our bodies.
Lindsay says Taekwondo helps him in football with balance and power because everything comes from the core. Rookie quarterback Kellen Mond and the Minnesota Vikings are getting ready for mandatory minicamp scheduled June 15th through the 17th. Mond was drafted 6 weeks ago in the third round by Minnesota and practiced with them for the first time 2 weeks later during rookie minicamp. Mond said he was excited to be out there, and he's learning the Vikings offense from 9-year veteran Kirk Cousins, who entering his 4th season as the Vikings starting quarterback. Cousins is due guaranteed salaries of $21 million and $35 million the next 2 years, respectively, and doesn't seem to be upset with the fact that the team for drafting a quarterback because they kept him informed of their plans to draft a quarterback potentially.
Yeah, there was good communication through the process, and Kellen's been great, working hard and picking up our offense quickly. So it's been a good process, and we're just kind of building this thing right now to keep ramping up as we get closer to September.
Cousins says he plans to be an open book to help teach Mond. And later in sports, a scary moment at the European Championships with a player collapsing on the pitch. Guys?
Yeah, it was scary stuff today. Thank you, Larry.
After the break, we're going to check back in with Garrett Berger live in Austin after last night's mass shooting. Stay with us.
Welcome back. With one person already in custody, Austin police still trying to track down a second suspect in this morning's mass shooting.
14 people were hit on 6th Street. Police believe most of them were innocent bystanders. Still, the entertainment district is open again. Garrett Berger there now live. Garrett, what's it like tonight on 6th Street?
Well, this portion of 6th Street is known as Dirty 6th locally. It's known for its packed streets and bars. And even less than 24 hours after a mass shooting, you can see that is still the case. Bolstering the crowds tonight are bikers in town here to attend the Republic of Texas, or ROT, motorcycle rally. One of the biggest events in the state, the ROT rally celebrating its 25th anniversary in Austin, and bikes are dominating the scene out here. I bet you can hear it. Going off of their numbers earlier today and now, it's clear they aren't particularly worried about last night's violence.
The situation that happened yesterday was unfortunate, yes, but today coming here, we were kind of hesitant, but you know what? Life goes on and we still gotta enjoy ourselves, as a biker family. So, we feel pretty safe today. So, but we're not staying here all night.
On the other hand, it's hard to say how many locals might be staying away tonight, though the crowd seemed filled with them as well. And we did talk with one Austin woman earlier who was only on 6th Street because her family was in town and she was showing them around, but she planned to leave early on. Now, DPS troopers are out here tonight joining Austin PD, trying to make sure that the crowds are safe. Hopefully it's an uneventful, if raucous night. Live in Austin, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. Last night's shooting in Austin happening on the 5-year anniversary of the devastating Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. 49 people died when a gunman attacked the popular night spot for Orlando's LGBTQ+ community back in 2016. Owner Barbara Poma says she originally opened the Pulse nightclub as a safe, happy place for the community. She spent today with families and friends of the shooting victims before a remembrance ceremony at the Pulse Interim Memorial.
There is a gun violence problem. There is a hate problem. There is a problem bigger than what anyone's really talking about, I think, is why is that how we are solving problems? Through violence and through hateful acts. I mean, why? What makes you think that that person's life is not valuable? What message do you think you're really sending?
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered all flags to be flown at half-staff from sunrise to sunset Saturday today in honor of those killed.
Today also marks the 1-year anniversary of the fatal shooting of Rayshard Brooks, and his family says they're still looking for justice. 27-year-old Brooks was shot and killed by an Atlanta police officer outside of a Wendy's restaurant there after failing a sobriety test. Brooks briefly fought with 2 officers, taking a taser away from one, and then was shot as he ran away. His attorneys point out that the family of George Floyd got a settlement from the city of Minneapolis. So is the family of Breonna Taylor from the city of Louisville, and more recently, the family of Alton Sterling from Baton Rouge. After what they call a year of inaction, the Brooks family says they want his death taken seriously by the city of Atlanta.
Around America, the U.S. Drought Monitor says nearly 10% of the U.S. is under an exceptional drought. It's the highest the rate has been since 2011, and many are worried these conditions will lead to more dangerous threats. Situations are dire in California, Oregon, Utah, and Nevada, which are entirely under drought conditions. Lake Mead at the Hoover Dam and it's at its lowest water level in decades as the West Coast tries to cope with another dry week and above average temperatures. Forecasters say water shortages and dry earth could result in an intense wildfire season.
Roadside ignitions is a very, very common problem. That's probably one of the highest ignition sources.
Meanwhile, for fear of smaller crops, farmers in Wisconsin are being forced to use sprinklers for their fields because of the lack of rain. This comes as officials are asking people in drought-affected states to conserve when possible.
Automaker Volkswagen is the latest company hit by a data breach. More than 3 million customers had their data stolen after a third-party vendor that Volkswagen uses was hacked. The breach includes sensitive information like vehicle identification numbers, driver's license numbers, and social security numbers. Volkswagen says the majority of customers affected were customers of its luxury brand Audi. From the big gas pipeline hack to small businesses, it seems like there's a data breach almost daily now. So what if you think your personal data is in the wrong hands? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz on what to do.
When Nicholas De Leon got an alert saying he'd signed up for a bunch of credit cards, he was puzzled.
I didn't know it was happening because I didn't sign up for any new credit cards.
He hadn't been notified about a data breach, so he checked online to see where his personal information was compromised.
It was scary, it was stressful, and the worst part was that I was on the hook to clean up the mess.
Sometimes companies do inform you if you're the victim of a data breach, but you can also dig for yourself to find out what info was compromised. The website Have I Been Pwned will tell you if it's your email, phone number, or password.
If your password was compromised, change it everywhere you've used it.
It's best not to reuse passwords. To help you remember them all, use a password manager like 1Password. It creates and stores complex, unique passwords for each of your accounts. Cybercriminals use your personal info to try to log into your accounts. So use multi-factor authentication, which requires a second form of ID to log in.
Often it's a code sent to your phone, but we recommend using a form that's more secure than that.
Like the Google Authenticator app or a hardware security key such as YubiKey. If your social security number or financial information was part of a data breach, Consumer Reports suggests freezing your credit. You can do that by going to each of the 3 major credit bureaus. Keep in mind you will have to thaw your credit report if you apply for any type of loan. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Outside with Live Cam wrapping up a warm and muggy Saturday. I'll give you a hint. Tomorrow's going to be a very similar day, but that makes it a great day to hang out by the pool if you're so lucky. 88 by lunchtime tomorrow. And we'll see our high temperatures jump back into the low to mid 90s with the heat index closer to 100 degrees. Chance of a stray shower popping up tomorrow afternoon. Most of us, though, will just be stuck with the heat and humidity. We'll talk more about your Sunday forecast and taking a look at what's going on in the tropics coming up in just a few minutes.